All right, we're live out here at the place we call New Oaks AI Podcast. So, welcome everyone to the broadcast. I'm your host, Leland Best from Best Studios LLC, along with my guest, Ray Luan, coming out of China here tonight and hanging out loose with us, talking about EasySite. Ray Luan, of CEO of EasySite in New Oaks. Nice to have you here, buddy. How's it going?
Hey, Leland, everything's great. How's everything from your end?
It's cold in the slightest sense of the term, and not even that. It's like crazy. Hold on one second. I want to make sure. Yeah, we're good. I am like freezing my tuchus off out here, believe it or not.
Wow.
It's insanely below zero right now. So yeah,
Wow.
we're
Well,
we're
I
not having
thought
much fun.
the winter is just started or is going to end soon, the winter.
It doesn't really end here until March. Sometimes
Wow.
the two worst months that we have in Michigan are January and February. That's just a given. There's not much we can do
Wow.
about that. It just comes with the territory. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of those things.
Just
We kind of
hope you
grab
can do
Mary, you might
better.
say.
Yeah, I can tell from what you wear. You wear yeah, you generally
I'm
you wear
all clothes
t-shirt, but
fit.
you have
Yeah, I
other
do.
gears, other
I
winter
do.
gears. So I can tell right away. Yeah.
I'm also in a third, it's really a three-season room that I'm in for my studio. So this isn't completely, I have a little heating unit in here. So when it
Wow.
gets down to
Okay.
below zero, some of my windows freeze in my studio.
Wow.
They literally
Wow.
get iced up, and I sit out here like a fool trying to broadcast. But
Wow.
just had the cat arrive in the studio. I hope the wife lets him out. She might not be sitting there. So hold on, or he's going to
Yep.
have a connection.
Yep.
Go ahead, buddy. All right, we're good to go. And we are live out on YouTube and on TikTok. If you guys want to go see the behind the scenes of what's going on back there and see what we do as a studio setup, you can kind of take a look back there, what's going on. So, a lot of word in the cloud department this time around, right?
Cloud, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some action going on out there. Tell us, like, let's start with the folks over there at Claude and Coworks. Why don't we start there and kind of talk
Yeah.
about that for a minute? See where we go.
Sure, sure. Yeah, so Cloud recently released two very cool features. One is skills, which means that
Mhm.
you have a lot of functions that you can call to use, right?
Yes.
It's like a tool of use. And then they also released Cowork. So Cowork literally is a desktop version of Cloud Code. Literally, you install a desktop app where you with a conversational window, you can use Cloud Code to literally build anything that you wanted. So because Cloud Code used to be Cloud Code itself is a command line program, which means that you have to use programming language. You use a command line to communicate with the AI, but with Cowork, you can use prompt to communicate with AI and to build
Isn't that crazy?
any agent. So it's crazy. It's very powerful. And yeah,
So
so and I thought Cowork probably is an open source code. So we actually build our own Cowork.
really?
Yeah. So
Oh, cool.
yep. So we probably is going to release our EasySite Cowork really soon.
That'll be
Um,
nice. I
yeah,
like it.
you can install a lot of skills like
Mhm,
agent skills,
mhm,
and also you can control your browser to log into any website you want as far as you have the access and
mhm,
credentials.
mhm.
And also you can manage your local folder. So the key thing about Cowork is that you can access your local files, right?
Mhm.
Versus on the other like browser-based app like Cloud Code, you can only access the cloud-based files. So Codework give you a full access of all the files that you have
Mhm.
locally, and
Mhm.
then you can um, batch process all kind of like cron jobs or build any kind of autonomous tasks, to process and run behind the scene like 24 by 7.
Mhm.
Literally, you have a
Mhm.
team of AI employees to do
And this is what we've been
stuff.
waiting for, really,
Yeah,
Ray. The idea of actually letting them loose to do their thing and let them work autonomously and at night or wherever it is that we need them to be doing tasks for us
yep,
when we can't be.
yeah.
I'll expand on that a little bit, Ray. I was
Mhm.
playing with Claude Code the other night,
Yeah,
and just 2 days ago, I realized Claude Code announced their new connection to the Olama backend as well, which allows you to
uh-huh.
utilize all the open source platforms that are available on Olama. So I
Yep,
sat down the other day and got mine all hooked up. So I'm running local Olama Claude Code building for free.
yep,
Now it's a little tricky on my machine because I'm still antiquated on some of the GPU equipment that I have here, still pretty
right.
old, but I can run on it. It's just I use a lot of the cloud models right now that are
Yeah,
available for free. And
yeah.
I think what's going to end up, what do you see? I mean, everybody just seems to be reducing the price lower and lower and lower, and open source keeps popping up all over the place. When are we
Yeah.
going to see just plain free AI out here in the world? Do you think that's going to be a soon to be reality that's going to be considered like a top tier commodity for some that pay for it, but for the general audience out there, do you think we'll be able
Um,
to access like that?
well, I think eventually it depends on the price of energy or
Mhm.
electricity, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so tokens will be get cheaper, I think, at some point. It will get cheaper and cheaper. So there are always two ways of doing AI coding. One way is like closed source code, AI models like Anthropic or OpenAI and Gemini. And the other way is open source AI coding, right? Like the different models of Kimi, Qiwen, and also DeepSeek, right? So there are two type of AI models. I think the open source models are catching up, but I well, it's even open source model you still have to spend money on tokens. It's just a little bit
gotcha.
cheaper, yeah.
Yeah,
But well, the real issue, the real problem, or the real advantage of Cloud Code is that cloud make Cloud Code much cheaper if you go with monthly subscription of $200 per month
seems to
versus,
be. Yeah, most of
yeah,
the big guys I know are using it that way, and sometimes
yeah,
they have two of those $200 accounts
right.
going at once. It's
Yeah,
just the way.
so and if you go with Cloud API, it's much more expensive.
Mhm.
So in
Mhm.
the way that cloud is compensating the end users to use cloud code um, on a MRR base, right?
Sure.
But yeah, but compare with even you use open source like models like DeepSeek, it's still more expensive than cloud code in terms of the um, cost per token.
Oh,
Really
computing
different.
power
Yeah,
wise coming back
yeah,
out.
it's
Yeah,
still
like
it's still more expensive. So literally, Cloud Code, the reason that Cloud Code is so popular is not because it is the best, not only because it is the best AI coding model, but
mhm.
also because like cloud is like subsiding the end users with the money, the profit they make out of cloud API to the enterprise. So I think they're using the money they make with the business and enterprise to subsidize the consumers.
Yeah, that makes sense
So
because when you're
yeah,
building your own platform with your own platform, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's
yeah,
like Claude is Anthropic sitting over there with a gold mine, basically, because they're holding the hands of an autonomous engineer that can perform maintenance and improvement of their own platform, their own system. So they just
exactly.
keep reiterating over and over and over, and that accelerates. That becomes exponential. That's
Yeah.
not just like you're just upgrading your token capabilities by 5 or 10% every month. It's not like what you do in finance. It's totally different. You're generating, like we said at the beginning of this, Ray, it was all going to be about power and not just
Yeah.
that's the type of power that rules, but the energy that it was going to not only take but allow to be created as well. So it's kind of that, what do
Well,
we call that? It's kind of
but in one way that the cost per million tokens are getting cheaper and cheaper,
yep.
but still there's a bottleneck of the cost of electricity and energy in general. But
Yes.
also on the other hand, I think there's another trend that if you want to use a very smart, intelligent AI agent like Cowork or Cloud Bot that we're going to talk about, it's going to cost you much more tokens.
Yeah, I agree. I
So,
think you're right.
yeah, so eventually the overall cost, I mean, with a more intelligent AI agent, probably is going to be more expensive because think about it, we are going to run the AI employees or AI agents 24/7, non-stop.
Yeah.
So I think the cost will not be reduced in general, even though the unit cost per million token will be reduced, but we are going to spend more and more tokens because we are using AI to replace humans very soon and to run like non-stop jobs or workflows
Yeah,
or
and they'll be healing themselves and reiterating code to fix processes. So yeah, they'll be definitely generating just as many, if not 10 times as many tokens as they are now,
exactly.
just to be developed. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's part of the
exactly.
process. We get it.
Exactly.
So who else had some things to say? I know Dr. Rachel Kim spoke up from A16Z as well when it comes to just increasing the adoption and conversion, and conversational AI is huge. Let me throw a graphic up on the screen that I just did the other day, Ray, because we're kind of getting to this place in AI where now we're looking at, we have the infrastructure and the APIs being developed at such a standard now that they're becoming an increased regularity. Almost every website has to be built in somewhat of an API structure nowadays in order for bots to read them properly. We've got workflow orchestration, and now we have agentive AI. So what the top stack really is in this is the outcome. It's not about the process anymore. What we just did with agentive AI and having a conversational component, that's our new user interface. So the likes of N8N, Make, Late Node, all of these code process node builders, you're not going to see that as the interface anymore.
Right.
It's going to be down here in the stack. The stack top end, the UI is going to be you talking to the AI agent and having it run the workflows below it rather than you operating the workflows manually and producing the flow nodes and things like that. So
yeah,
they're not going to go away. They're just going to be commoditized, and they're going to be
exactly. So
dropped in the
I think the recent architecture of agentic workflow, as you mentioned, the A16 guy talked about is that also the architecture of Cloud Code. I mean, so compare with N8N or Node Load or Node Load. I mean, Node Load or other like makers
any
and
of the node builders.
these node flow builders. I think the difference between Cloud Code and those flow builders, workflow builders, is that Cloud Code is using a main agent skills and sub agent workflow, which means that the flow is dynamic, right? It's not fixed. Versus N8N, the workflow is fixed, right? Once you drop and drag the flows and fix that in the canvas, on the canvas, right? It's fixed.
Yeah.
But the AI workflow means that it's on the fly. So there's a planning agent to tell all the sub agent what to do every single time. Every single time the flow is a little bit different. It's adaptive. It's more proactive, right? The only difference is that Cloud Code builds skills, which means skills is more like a recipe, right? Tells the sequence and the process that how the sub agent will run by. So I think that's the difference, right? One is highly dynamic, highly adaptive and proactive, and the other is like N8N or make is more, fixed but more stable, but it's also cheaper because you don't spend tokens for run every workflow versus for Cloud Code, for every like agentic workflow, you need to spend some tokens. And the tokens could be very cheap, right? So there's pros and cons. But I think it depends on what you do every day. The dynamic,
it depends on the workflow, really. It's what is it that you're trying to produce and have an outcome from. And I think the graph really does sum that up. What we're looking at is the workflow orchestration is just that. It's just the automation that's executable, it's monitorable, it's reliable, it's like 99 99.9% accurate most of the time. The agentive is more about the planning, the reasoning, the delegation of the task.
Yeah.
So because it's quick to reason, it's quick to understand, it's quick to develop a process and a flow right away that can get the job done. And then it just assigns the proper agent that is already locked in, that knows what its job is to do it. And that's really where we're at right now.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Cool stuff. So what else we got, Ray? You mentioned some other things too about the emergence of new job roles. I mean, that's something that's kind of important in this day and age. Everybody's worried that AI is going to take their job away, but at the same time, it's creating new jobs as well. So what do we look at in that regard? Coding, we've got people who need to be good analyzers, people who need to be good flow builders, people who need to understand workflow processes, so that they can engineer and design those to work with AI included inside.
Yeah, so there are twofold of the facts that are going to, impact the whole world, including us, is that AI is going to eliminate, is going to make a lot of jobs disappear, right? Eliminate a lot of jobs, but in the same time, it's going to create a lot of new jobs. But the only difference is that the new jobs creating has higher entry barrier than the previous jobs. For example, I already realized that for the new jobs, let's talk about the new job that AI is creating. The new job, it's like you the new jobs. So I think in the future there are two groups of people, right? One group of people is that old-fashioned traditional like jobs, workers that you do not need to know anything about AI, you just live in your own world, right? But the new jobs has to be the ones who knows very well how to leverage and implement AI every day. And then the new jobs is has a very high entry barrier, because you as a human has to understand the limit of AI and has to know the advantage of AI and also the downside of AI. Means that previously, as a software engineer, there's a front end developer and a back end developer. But in the world of AI, there's no front end and back end anymore. You just you have to be.
It's just separate folders now.
You need to be like you need to know UI. You need to know how to code in front end. You need to also know how to design database. You have to be able to tell like what AI hallucinates, what AI hallucinates and what AI make shit code. And you need to be like work like architect, know that how to orchestrate the whole agentic workflow. Means that you need to be like well-rounded in all the different
for sure.
Absolutely.
So I mean, I just experimented with that, and I talked to people today on TikTok. So you guys out there know what I'm talking about here right now. That all of this, like, and I'm not trying to knock sites like Base 44 or anything like that, because there's nuances and differences to all of these AI website builders like your own. I like yours the best, right? Honestly, because you have covered every stinking base that you could possibly imagine when it comes to managing a project that is a SaaS development. That's the key here, because I go to a lot of these other sites. Like I went and built on Base 44. Okay. It's cool, but they don't let you download your code. They don't let you connect to GitHub because you got to have, at least not on their little free thing. Okay. Now that's one thing. You're out there to sell a product. That's what's primarily here, because you have a top grade product to sell. With regards to some of these apps, they're saying, oh, just come on over and code and you can make whatever you want and make it work and get paid on it. And I covered exactly what you just said a moment ago, which was, unless you know a little bit about UI, unless you know a little bit about code structure, unless you know a little bit about what these things actually do and where AI can fail miserably and think that you're getting good code and you're not. I had to retheme an entire website because it hard coded everything the first time around. Instead of theming it into light dark, I got all this hard coded text, and which causes pages and pages of data you don't need a lot of the time. Exactly. And so people don't understand that. And we have to refine that for folks to understand this is a new skill set. You got to learn something or another to play in this realm. But yes, your ideation can take place. You can create things you never thought possible before. Now you can. but know that you are going to need some help to finalize, wrap it in a bow, and put it out in the public. That's really
exactly. So, I mean, Cloud Code is so powerful, but only people knows everything and would be able to tame Cloud Code. I mean, it's a powerful beast, but you have to know its boundary, right? Know its limit in order to make leverage the power of Cloud Code. Cloud Code is I think it's the most powerful beast in the AI coding in the world of coding. Yeah,
it is. And then we have this beast. Then we have this beast. You want to talk about this thing?
Exactly. Well, Cloud
Bot, because that's all I can say.
Right.
Cloud Bot. This is
Cloud
Bot.
But the fun fact, let's talk about some fun fact. Okay, Cloud Bot is built by a developer called Peter. I mean, the guy has been very successful for his first venture, and then Cloud Bot is his second venture, which because he felt very bored after he made a lot of money. So good.
These millionaires, I tell you, what are we going to do with this guy?
Yeah.
Hope to be one someday, right?
Yeah, we will. And then, well, you know, he released that CloudBot it got so popular that I think like 2 days ago, Anthropic, the company Anthropic, actually sent him a legal letter, request him to change the name of CloudBot because it sounds so similar to Cloud Code. So that guy has to change the name to Modebot. So it's already changed the name to Modebot.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
I saw it on the page. If you scroll down under the CloudBot website,
that is domain name is still CloudBot.
Actually, Moltbot, MOLTBOT. Yeah,
right. But the brand name is Modebot.
Yeah, it's right here in the corner of the screen. You can see it above his head there. So they had to recode. This was the image up on Cloud.bot, they call it.
Cloud.bot,
down at the bottom, we just have to roll down to get to the
and also, I think the guy changed the name on Twitter, X, and then the crypto guys just took over the place immediately.
Really?
Yeah, and announced that they and start to sell like crypto coins. So a lot of people got a lot of people got cheated. So the coins, the virtual coins, crypto coins are issued by CloudBot and lost a lot of money. So and Peter has to claim that, oh no, I already changed the name to Modebot, and CloudBot has. It's such a drama, and
it can be when you try to pull a fast one like that, though. I mean, he knew what he was up against. He was going at one of the biggest AI providers on the planet. He's going to try and somewhat clone their name and think he's going to get away with it. Well, found out he couldn't.
That's funny. Yeah, and also I think the difference between CloudBot and Claude Coworks, literally they're the same thing. CloudBot is. Yeah, it's a more proactive version of Cowork.
Sure.
Behind the scene, they all use Cloud Code as the engine, and but what CloudBot done differently is that it has many valuable and useful skills built in, and also you can control the Cloud Code via different social media platforms like WhatsApp, Telegram. Even Facebook Messenger. So make it more powerful, but in the same time, CloudBot has so much access to your computer, so that a lot of people just purchased the Mac Mini just to host CloudBot and to make it.
That's what I want to do next. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Because the processing power, I mean, I use an M1, but I can't run a large model at all with a 2080 Ti even attached to an RTX or an R7 over here. I can go with an 8 billion parameter model maybe and get away with it. You reduce it. But when you think about it, Ray, most of the general coding that people do in Java, Python, CS, C++, whatever, is pretty straightforward and standard. It's the iterations that crush a small video card when you're trying to run an LLM in house. It's when they start to upgrade some of these hardware units that you can get for 5, 6, 800, maybe $1,000. And even these AI chips that are coming out, we're going to see a huge improvement in the way that we can run self-hosted stuff, obviously. And we're still wishing for that because I still run off cloud models when I use Llama most of the time.
But the only drawback is that for the agents or like Claude bots, if you run it 24/7, it's going to cost you a lot of money, tokens, because of the tokens is consumed. For what I learned from some of my friends is running Claude bot, it easily costs you at least $100 to $200 per day, easily, because run all the different process behind the scene, right? Sending emails and check your folder, scan all the different files of your server or computer. So I think a lot of people still have it for fun, but before you find a very profitable use case, probably it's gonna cost you much more than
it's not worth it.
Unless
you have an RTX server farm and you've been running Bitcoin farms that long and can fire up a quick AI.
Exactly.
And I've never thought about doing that. I've considered it, but I don't have enough cards here to do it. I've got about 4 or 5 RTX cards laying around that I could probably plug into one unit, but I've never tried that kind of build, so I'm not going to attempt it now. All right, let's move on to EasySite. Well, we got a few minutes left here, Ray. We haven't seen anybody show up on the live feed, so we're just going to wrap it up with the latest integrations that are taking place over there. So some talk about Claude Code being integrated into EasySite AI. Tell us about that, Ray.
So we on EasySite, that's what we're going to release today within like 12 hours.
Nice.
So right now it's only have the engine, like I would say the coding engine that we have been building for the past 10 months, right? Since last April. And then we realize the Claude Code is much powerful. So we're going to integrate Claude Code behind the scene, which means that we're going to have 3 modes: the light mode, the pro mode, and the max mode, which means that the pro mode and max mode will be much more powerful because it's using Claude Code as the engine to power the coding model. But so that the end result of the website you're building will be much better. It will not look like AI because we have used Claude Code to integrate the skills of UI components.
I got you.
Better.
That'll be nice.
And then
the designer components that are built to skills.
The UI will be much better. And then there will be less bugs because with the integration of Claude Code, we are able to actually test the code after it's implemented on so we test it beforehand so that it will have less bugs. But the downside is that for the pro mode and max mode, it's going to be much more expensive because you done a lot of things right before the website is displayed on your screen. So is
that a new interface portion to the app then, where you're going to pull up a different window to work in than what we're working in now?
No, I think the interface will be the same. We just have options. So the Claude Code is like the senior coding engineer behind the scene. You don't see it, but you will feel it. And then so for AI coding, for website building, it's going to be very powerful. And then we are going to add skills too. Like building skills means that you can use your website to do all kinds of things that it cannot be done before, like create blogs and also blog posts for SEO, and also create any videos using the top, the most recent reading models, anything that you want. Cron jobs.
Let me ask you real quick, Ray, before we have to let this wrap up in one way or another, but I'm curious, with these types of website builders popping up all over the place and a lot of new websites starting to show up on these platforms, one of the things I've noticed is if I ask some of these AI components to go look at these websites and find data off them, they're not necessarily able to scrape the content because it's siloed. Now, is that going to eliminate like EasySite's ability to clone sites out there from time to time? Obviously, because I was curious, I wanted to see what would happen if I built some stuff on base 44 and Lovable and whatever else, and then let EasySite try to clone it. Would it even be able to do that?
Oh yes, it's still
Okay. I was just
it's
curious.
still able to clone it as far as has been put on deployed to a server and use some custom domains. So
Okay.
it's be
Gotcha.
able to clone, and the cloning capability will be more powerful. It just costs you more, but it's going to be
Yeah, I
more
get it. That's fine.
powerful. Yeah,
I just
it,
wouldn't want to see that feature set fall away because of the fact that so many people are building with AI builders now to produce website content for
oh
people. No, not everybody pulls their code down. They just like
yeah,
to have it hosted either on EasySite or
yeah.
any of the others that are out there. But I see your case allows for so much more convenience when it comes to maintenance, editing, things of that nature. You've got it
Yeah.
hands down. So last service template that you added a few more professional service templates. It looks like we'll just throw those on the screen real quick, Ray. We're into the yoga, the assurance AI for some insurance stuff. We've got some paws and pals. We've got Turbo Glow Auto Spa. And what else we got? Fixera Home Maintenance,
Yep.
real estate agent, and a council mate. I like these. Dental was one that we saw last week, along with the chiropractic and the reserve AI for the restaurants as well. So
Yep.
pretty cool stuff, Ray. I love it. What number are we on now? What are you up to?
We're about
60?
60. Yeah, we're already
All
60.
right.
So we're keep releasing more templates. But the recent focus is Cloud Code integration. After release that, we're gonna keep pushing out the templates.
Well, for sure. And I
Yeah.
can't wait to help you with a few of those, Ray. I've come up with a few things over here. I just wanted to show some of the
Yeah.
folks. I know you guys have seen it. We built Best Live TV, which hosts this podcast over on EasySite.ai.
Oh,
We've managed to build the AI component for AI TV at Best AI Podcast, which is the one that we run with myself and Kyrie Taylor on every other week on Wednesday. But
yeah.
we've thrown in some really cool stuff out here, Ray. I love the way this website builder has been providing us with professional level content, the ability for us to tie in our studio so that if Ray wanted to, he could just come and hop in the studio from here and submit materials to us from the back end. We have Candid, who's attached over to a white label version of New Oaks, our AIO bots, which runs Candid on the back end of this website, where you can even talk to her and see what's going on in the live stream world. So we can't say that it doesn't work, Ray. I'm using my entire business model on top of it. So that
Yeah.
should tell you something about how much we feel about this website builder. And we're going to keep moving stuff over there and see how we do with it. So I really
Great
like
job. Yeah, good job. Uh,
So I'm going to let you go, Ray. I want to thank everyone that's watching for stopping by the New Oaks AI podcast. We come out here every other Tuesday, usually 8 p.m. in the winter, spring months, back to 9 p.m. in the summer, fall, because of the seasonal changes, and we're 12 hours apart. So it works better for both of us when those time changes take place. But we'll see you in 2 weeks, Ray, and we'll talk about what's going on next when we come back with some more templates over at EasySite. So anything for the peeps on the way out?
Yeah, so we're going to we're going to release a new agent, but I'll let's talk about next for
Okay.
next
We'll hold
podcast.
that for a surprise for next time, guys. But we do expect to see the Claude Code feature integrated within the next 12 hours. So go check it out and see it for yourself. All right, Ray, we'll see you next time. Take care.
See you next time.
Bye for now. Peace out.